Hey gym owners, in this video we're going to dive deep into the psychology of sales and how you can use the anchoring bias to double, yes double, the cash collect from every new member. Now, I've been in the fitness industry for over 12 years and I started as a personal trainer, built multiple gym locations and made a lot of mistakes along the way. But what really helped me break through was learning to position the offers we have the right way. And today I'm going to teach you exactly that. And here's the thing, running a successful gym or fitness studio isn't about delivering great results for your members. Yes, that's also part of it, but it's also about sales psychology. And one of the most powerful psychological concepts out there is the anchoring bias. And the way our brain fixates on the first number or option we see, which then impacts every decision we make afterwards. And I know this sounds complicated, but trust me, it's super simple. And once you understand it, you're going to start implementing it immediately. And today I'm going to show you two practical examples and explain how you can adjust the pricing and adjust the offering in your club or studio. Now let's jump behind my computer here and look at one example that will be very visual for you, which is the luxury car sales. Let's say you're shopping for a new luxury car and you walk into the dealership and the first car the salesperson shows you, it's not the cheapest, it is the top of the line model, and usually as you walk in they have the most expensive cars on display. They're fully loaded, beautiful, and they're highly priced. And for example, the car that we're seeing is $120,000. Now, unless you're a millionaire, that number might make you flinch and might not be within your budget. That doesn't mean that the salesman's not going to show it to you, even though you clearly said that you're looking for a budget-friendly option. But here's where it gets interesting. Next, the salesperson shows you a more modest model. It's still a luxury car, but it's priced at $70,000 now. And even though $70,000 is still a big number, maybe it's a little bit over your budget, your brain is comparing to the $120,000 you just saw. And suddenly that $70,000 car doesn't seem as expensive, and it almost feels like a bargain. And this is anchoring bias in action. The initial high price set your expectations so that every price after it feels more reasonable in comparison. Now let's look at the second example of how Tesla was able to launch a company that has done $83 billion in sales last year. When they first launched their car, they didn't price themselves at the lowest tier because there's no way they could mathematically make the company work. So they went above and beyond to price their car super expensive, over $100,000. And slowly and gradually over time, they started decreasing the prices of Model X and then Model 3, where it's now super affordable to own a Tesla, but you still associate it with a high quality brand. And just for using that strategy alone, they were able to do $83 billion in sales last year. So let's look at another example that I'm sure you've experienced yourself, and it's the restaurant wine. If you walk into a restaurant and you're handed that menu, you're going to see that there's two strategies that they implement. First, they start with a more expensive wine on top, and then they go at the cheaper options at the bottom. Or they would have a very low price wine, and it's still expensive because it's a restaurant, but the second option is just a little bit more, and then all the rest of the options are super high tier. So if you would look at the one on top, it could be priced at $300. Now, unless you're celebrating something big, you're probably not going to spend that much on a bottle, right? But then when you see the next option, which is a bottle of 120, all of a sudden the 120 bottle looks a lot more attractive, a lot more reasonable. And even though 120 is still a high price, the anchor of 300 made it feel like a good deal in comparison. So that's how the restaurants are able to sell their mid-tier price wines like hotcakes, because if they just had the cheaper version without having the higher priced option right in front of you, you would still opt in for the cheapest wine and not the mid-tier option, if that makes sense. Now, restaurants use that tactic all the time. They use it in their menus, in their entries, and it works like magic. And I'm just illustrating it because sometimes as health and fitness business owners, we shy away from charging the prices we were worth. We're shying away from using tactics such as marketing and sales psychology because we feel it's icky. But at the end of the day, it's what we need to do to help the people that are right on the other side. Because first, if we're not making enough money, we're not going to be able to get enough profit and keep our business going. Second, if people don't pay the amount that is enough for them to fill it, they're not going to value your service. So we want to be utilizing some of those strategies and tactics and of course deliver a good service on the back end. Now that we've seen two examples of anchoring, let's look at why it works. It's all about the human brain and how it's wired. We anchor ourselves to the first piece of information we see. Whether it's a price, a time, or even a statistic, the first number becomes a reference point for everything else. And in both the car and wine examples, the high price becomes the anchor and everything else looks like a better deal afterwards, even though it's still expensive. And in our gym example, if you've been a competitive market where everybody around you charges $10, $15 per month memberships or $200 boot camp or $100 program, you got to reset that expectations, else you're going to be put in a price tier bucket and you're not going to be able to escape and you're going to run your business to the ground. So the way we do that is through something we call the diamond sell. So what is the diamond sell and how do we use it? Diamond sell strategy builds on anchoring by presenting a high ticket offer first, followed by a mid-range and short-term offers, and finishing with a hidden downsell. So here's how it works in practice. And trust me, I was hesitant at first. We were using a different strategy on our pricing before that, and we were struggling to collect $240 sales. All day long, people were explaining how expensive it is compared to the other options. But since we've introduced the diamond sell, all the objections went away and we were able to double and even triple our prices with no hesitation on the other end. So let's break down the sale. So step number one would be the high ticket offer. And when a new prospect walks in, you want to start with the highest ticket offer first. And this should be something like a 6-month or 12-month transformation program priced at $5,000. Just say it out loud, practice in front of the mirror. It might sound ridiculous to you, it might sound outrageous. The goal here is not to sell that offer because not everybody's going to buy, even though there's a percentage of the population that they would, and it will reset your standards around what's possible for you to charge. But the reason is that we set the anchor so high because when they see that price tag, everything else that follows feels so much more affordable. Now, step number two would be the mid-term and short-term offers. And after settling the anchor, it's time to introduce our next two offers, which are the ones that we're going to skew towards and sell a lot of. So let's say our mid-term offer is a 12-week program priced at $1,500 and your short-term offer is 6-week program at $699. What is happening here is that the mid-term and short-term offers now seem way more reasonable compared to the $5,000 high ticket anchor, and your prospect is more likely to say yes, $1,500 doesn't seem so bad, or $699 is a steal. So that's how you would get a lot of cash collected even on a first meeting with a prospect. That's how you're able to charge high ticket prices, and that's why some gyms struggle, whereas some succeed and are able to make a lot of profits. And that's why you see these bold claims online of gym owners making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 within their first month, and yet you're here barely breaking even after years of hard work. I've been there, I've experienced it myself, so that's why I'm sharing this strategy that you can implement yourself. And the hidden downsell is something that we use sometimes for marketing, because if we announce the highest price within our advertising, nobody's going to show up because they haven't seen the value we can provide and we haven't matched it to the problems and needs they have and how we can address them through our product servicing. So that's why we would use the hidden downsell first as an offer we put in advertising. That could be something as low as $49 a week or $499 or $199, something that's cheap and affordable, and it is something that would bring the prospect in, but we would walk them through the diamond sell process. So how the hidden downsell works, let's say the prospect still hesitates even after you present the mid-tier and short-term offers, then you would bring out the hidden downsell. You don't announce it at first, you don't show it to them. It's an offer that's a bit more affordable, but still delivers the value they came in for. So for example, you could offer a shorter term program, such as a 28-day program for $549, or you could jump straight into a recurring membership at $49 per week. And the hidden downsell ensures that you capture clients who may be a little bit more price sensitive without losing out entirely on the sale. And we've implemented those strategies in our own locations. Like I said, we've been using a different pricing strategy before that. We had 3-tier packages, $199, $249, and $329, and we were always selling the $249 and we were struggling. People were complaining it's expensive. And since we've introduced the diamond sell, we were able to charge $499, $599 on a first sell easy. And that allowed us to get our cash collected from a new member from $250 on the front end to now over $650. And that's remarkable because now you can spend more money on ads. Now you can run better, bigger, and more exciting promotions for your members. You have money to give to your coaches, and that's super important because they stay with you longer. And you also have money to provide a better experience for your clients, make swag, t-shirts, and ultimately become known for the highest quality of service. So hopefully this video was helpful to you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you implement some of those strategies for yourself. And the takeaway here is simple. How you position your offers matters. You don't have to rely on hard selling techniques or pressure. Instead, use the anchoring bias to make your mid-range and lower price offers feel more valuable and accessible. By using this strategy, you can also easily increase the cash collect, improve your closing rate, and ultimately build a more profitable, health and fitness business. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a like, share it with your network, and subscribe for more tips on how to grow your health and fitness business. And if you want to dive deeper into a strategy and learn how our system can help you transform your membership sales, click the link below, schedule a free call, and let's make your business wildly profitable.